What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Collider Media Studio at the Cinema Center at South by Southwest 2025. I am so thrilled to be sitting with the team behind Slanted. Congratulations on your movie feature debut. That's a big deal that we're going to celebrate big time. First, though, because I clearly know what your movie is, but our audience is probably first going to learn about it through the festival and these interviews. So would you mind giving the brief synopsis?
Yes, it is about a Chinese American teenager played by Shirley, and she wants to win prom queen so badly that she goes and gets transracial surgery to become a white girl. Yes.
Let's go. That's right.
Concise.
Many questions about the concept. This is one of my favorite writing and development questions to ask, especially with such an intriguing story like this. What was idea number one, the thing that started this all, but then also during the development process, did you have like a break story moment, an idea that you came up with that made this whole idea feel whole to you?
Yeah, I mean, so the concept came about back in 2021. I remember waking up and there was a shooting in Atlanta at a spa, and a bunch of Asian American women were murdered. And that afternoon, it kind of just brought about a bunch of, feelings I had growing up in Australia. And one of the biggest things I remembered was waking up as a teenager feeling like, fuck, wouldn't life just be easier if I was white? And so the concept kind of grew from there, and I thought, hey, why don't we have a teenage girl and have her turn white and see what that life is like and have it become this nightmare. And then during the development process, I feel like at the beginning, honestly, prom wasn't that huge of a I mean, it was part of the story, but it wasn't, the main thing. And, developing it with my producers really kind of helped push that side to the forefront. And I feel like it really made the movie. Yeah.
That's like a very effective, I don't know, I guess I would call it like a through line or a spine to the film. That thought was very well done. So another thing about the movie that really fascinates me, and I'll steal your own words from our press notes here, was the choice to make this searing and unapologetically satirical. Why did that feel like the best tone to get across like the themes, ideas, and points you wanted to make with the story?
Yeah, I mean, I love Satire. I love Ruben Östlund. I love, Boots Riley, all of those guys. So I knew, dealing with something as confronting as race and racism, I wanted to kind of hide that theme behind genre. So having body horror, having the comedy, having the satire, I think felt necessary to not, hit the nail over the head, with the topic like this. So that was the main reason.
All right, so now I'm going to lean into the first feature of it all, and I'm going to call this Make Amy Blush time.
Yay.
So first feature, high hopes you're going to go on to direct many, many more. Can you each tell me something about her as an actor's director and a leader on this set that you appreciated and would be excited for even more actors to get to experience?
This is the best question I think we've gotten so far. No, I love this question.
I feel like we always inadvertently answer it without it being directly asked.
But now we get to be like explicit, unapologetic about it. You want to take it away?
No, you go first. You go first.
I've been saying this because I truly mean it, and I told Amy this is how I will forever remember her by. But when I came onto the project, like before that, I was honestly apprehensive. I was like, this is like a really bold swing, and like we were saying a lot. Like, whoa. And I was like, I don't know, Amy, I'm kind of nervous about doing something like this. And she said, why? Well, that's good. Why is that a problem? Isn't that kind of the point, to be controversial, to start a conversation? And I was like, damn. I mean, love me a woman who proves me wrong, because love me a woman. Love me a Amy Wang. You said Amy. Love me a Amy Wang. But like, truly, like, I admire her so much because like, she is not only just an amazing artist, but human being. And now like one thing that I really like want to say, because this is Love Fest for Amy, and I think you guys can agree to this too, but she makes such a nice welcoming set where as an actor, you feel like you can bring your ideas to the table. Like there was ideas that I had that I wasn't even a part of that scene. And I was like, Amy, you can tell me to like go screw off because I'm not even a part of that scene. But I just feel like, and you make me feel comfortable enough to say this to you, but what if like maybe we did this, and added that at the end of the film or something like that. And I really appreciate that because not all directors do that. Not all people in general make room for your brain and your feelings. And Amy does that because that's a testament to how she leads with her heart. So yeah.
Yeah.
So well said.
I think we're going down the line, right?
Yeah, go. No.
Let's go.
Keep it going.
With it. I think like one thing I remember noticing, like, because I watched all of Amy's stuff before we met for lunch, and something that I remember sticking out to me as like part of her voice as a creator is this deep empathy and willingness to just jump into anybody's shoes, especially people who don't want someone there. One of her early shorts is, I mean, I don't want to like focus on too much or like get into it too much, but really about this character that has a deep problem that socially is deeply unacceptable, right? But you really feel for this character, and I think that that's also true of Slanted, where it's like there's this character that is making this decision that us as the audience are like, no, don't do it, girl, don't do it. But you feel why she does that, because I think with Amy, like she meets everybody where they're at, and that's regardless of if that's the actor or the crew or the hair and makeup, whoever. It's like, oh, okay, I see you as a person, and that means you're deeply flawed, and that's cool, me too. And I think that's perfect, the perfect tone for like a movie like this. And then I think as well, like Amy is such silly spirit. Her family is awesome. Her parents are awesome. Like, what was special to me is that, Amy's dad is really cool and very much based, the character's basis for Fong, and I'm really close to my dad, and I think that like knowing Amy is to know this like, wealth of people around her that are so, I mean, they flew 13 hours from Australia to come support her to this weekend. So yeah.
It makes me so happy that you have that around you right now.
I would like to say that Amy is incredibly warm and incredibly compassionate, and I'm a very tactile person, and she lets me hug her whenever I want, and she just makes me feel extremely comfortable on set. Like there was never a day where I showed up to set being worried about how I would do, how we would interact, how you would command the set. You believed in every single one of us, and that gave us the freedom to make choices, and that allowed the movie to incorporate a bit of all of us in it. And that is so powerful and so beautiful. And I would work with you 100 more times if I could.
I paid everybody to say this.
Not enough.
Amy's so process driven, and I love that about her. It's, we shot the film in, 4.5 weeks. We really didn't have a lot of time, but we would never rush through a scene because we had to do this and we had to do that. She's always, if something that she may not tell us what she wants, right? We may not know that, but she comes back to you, and we're always working on relationships. Who is this character? Where you are in that moment, and always working through that process. So as an actor, it's incredibly empowering, and I can do my craft, and then maybe whether or not I get to what the end result in her head is, but the process of that, it's incredible. And I think about the moment that 4.5 weeks that we spend in Atlanta, like almost every day.
Oh.
I'll let you give the flowers right back to your cast here, because I think about this all the time. In this industry, we always use the phrasing like, what did the director bring out of the actors? Which I do think can be applicable, but I also think it goes both ways, and we should emphasize that as well. What is something about these four in particular right here that brought something new out of you as a director?
Oh my God, so much. Every single person added so much to their own scenes, their own character. Like literally, like Amelie, so much of the comedy was you. She improvised so much. She would prepare days before, add things, and honestly, like the moments that get the biggest laughs in the movie are because of you. And then Maitreyi, oh my God, yeah. The scene by the lockers was her idea. Even the expansion at the end, you remember having...
I was so happy that you added that nugget. I was like, Amy took it. Amy did
my
it.
gosh.
Yes. And yet again, I wasn't even in that scene. But
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
cool.
I remember Shirley, like you asked me like which moment was kind of her like lowest point in the movie, and we talked about it. She did so much work on the character. So many notes. I remember like your binder, like it was like the prom queen binder.
The character, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And then Feng, I mean, like everything that you brought, like the final monologue that you had was written by you. Like I mean, it's unbelievable. Each person added so much to the script. Yeah.
I love hearing these
Seriously.
answers so much. I have to let you go soon. I did want to make sure to squeeze in this particular question because, again, first feature, big deal. It's hard to get a first feature off the ground. And I was, going through the credits and I saw Mark and Trevor's names. And I remember that I covered Pony Boy at Sundance last year. I don't know time anymore, but last year. And I don't know, I just love hearing about producers who find newer voices and help lift them up. So what is something about them that helped you get Slanted made and made the way you wanted?
Oh gosh, so much. So, I mean, Trevor's a dear friend from many, many years ago. And honestly, he was the guy who emailed me telling me he was looking for ideas. I pitched him Slanted just as a log line at the beginning. He loved it. And then he brought it to Mark, and then Mark loved it as well. Thank goodness. And, and then Mark helped get it financed. Trevor was there creatively throughout the whole thing. Both of them were incredible. And I could not have done this without them. Yeah.
Best vibes ever.
Yeah.
I love indie filmmaking. It's so important. I'm going to say huge congratulations on Slanted. Enjoy celebrating at South by Southwest.
Thank you.
So much.